Hi, I'm Louise from Suffolk Mind, and welcome to Sammy the Sea Squirt Day. Today, we're all raising money to help Suffolk Mind to bring Sammy the Sea Squirt to every 4 to 5 year old across Suffolk. We're going to be learning about our brain and how movement helps our brain to feel well. So this is Sammy the Sea Squirt. I've got a little Sammy the Sea Squirt here to show you. And Sammy the Sea Squirt is a chordate. And chordates are a tube. They have a tube for their body, and on top of their tube, they have a brain. So this is Sammy the Sea Squirt's brain on top of their body. Now, when Sammy's brain tells them to move, they go swoosh through the water and they move. But when Sammy finds somewhere to rest to make their home, they don't need to move anymore. So do you know what happens to their brain? It gets absorbed back into their body, into their tube body. It goes and it absorbs back into their tube body. And then Sammy doesn't need their brain anymore. Now, it's really important we have a brain, because why do we need a brain? We need our brain in our head. We need our brain to help us to think, to move, to have memory, to have emotions. So we really, really need our brain because it helps us to do lots of really important things. Now, we can look after our brain. And when we look after our brain, we call that mental health. Now, you might have heard the words mental health before, and it's all about your brain. So let's make a brain. Take your thumbs, take them in and close it. We're going to make our brain like this. Now, when we look after our brain feels good, and then we are able to do lots of different things. Now, one way we can look after our brain, if we put our hands back down for a minute, one way we can look after our brain is by moving. So when you move your body in lots and lots of different ways, the oxygen flows around your body. It helps your brain to make new links, and that helps you to learn, to remember things, to grow, to think about new things, to move. So it's really, really important that we look after our brains. Now, there are lots of different ways to move. So some of the ways you might already know. Some of you might do swimming, you might do running, you might do stretching, you might jump, you might do sports, you might do something like karate or judo. There are lots and lots of different ways to move. But you can also think of some new ways. So today, with your friends, I want you to think of lots of different ways that you can move. And when you've thought of lots of different ways, maybe you could take some pictures or send us some messages so that we at Suffolk Mind, we know how you're moving with your friends to help your brain to feel good and to keep you in mental well-being. Now, Sammy the Sea Squirt moves to help their brain. This is Sammy. So Sammy moves through the sea. Now, under the waves, where sunlight is blue, Sammy the Sea Squirt was born with a tube. Sea squirts have a brain on top of their tube that tells them to squirt, and that's how they move. Whoosh! So sea squirts move by whooshing. Now, Sammy meets lots of ocean friends in their story, and one of the ocean friends that they meet is a crab. So, can you think how a crab could move? Crab might move in a bit of a different way from Sammy. Let's have a think. How do you think a crab might move? Hmm. So maybe you could move a little bit like a crab later. Another friend that Sammy meets is Zara the zebrafish. Now, Zara flips her fins, so you might be able to flip your fins a little bit like Zara the zebrafish. Sammy also meets Opal the octopus. Now, Opal the octopus wiggles and squirts ink. So maybe you could move a little bit like Opal the octopus. Sammy also meets Saul the seahorse. So here is Saul the seahorse. Saul the sweet seahorse makes shapes with their body. So maybe you could move a little bit like Saul the seahorse. And you could also move like the waves that Sammy swims through. So there are some lots and lots of good ideas. If you download our little movement game like this, you can use that within your class to help you think of some really good ways to move. So I hope you have a really good day on your Sammy the Sea Squirt day, and you learn a little bit how moving helps your brain, it helps you to feel good, and it helps your body to feel good and your mind to feel like it's ready for learning and ready for remembering. And let us know at Suffolk Mind what you've been doing because we would love to hear from you. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.